Every engine, internal combustion engine above 10 horsepower will be replaced by the Jones engine. And when it comes to turbine engines, you get some benefit. You get a lot of horsepower, but you get other problems. They cost a lot. They spin very high RPMs. So like our M1 tanks, 2,000 horsepower turbine engines, they won't be run with turbines anymore. They'll be run with a Jones engine. And why? It's cheaper to operate. It generates more torque. It doesn't need to operate at those high RPMs. And that's what you want. These new engines will replace even turbine engines in the future. When you think about military applications, or a train, for instance, or a luxury liner, you think of a large engine that has to move heavy objects. And heavy objects are moved by torque. And so it's essential and important for you to understand a little something about the Jones engine when you compare it with other engines. If a force on a regular engine, like a 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder, is applied and attached to a crankshaft, it has an average lever distance of, let's say, 25 to 30% of the stroke. So if the stroke is 4 inches, 25% is 1 inch, average lever distance of 1 inch. If the Jones engine has the same stroke, but has a much longer lever arm, then it has a force perpendicular and about 4 or 5 times further away from the crankshaft than the conventional engine has. So you've got 4 to 5 times more torque out of the same amount of fuel with the Jones engine. And that's a great thing. But the unique thing about the Jones engine is the larger you get, the more lever distance you get as compared with another conventional engine exponentially. The larger you get with the Jones engine, the more torque you get relative to its counterpart in the same size displacement. So the bigger the engine we manufacture with the same amount of fuel and oxygen burning in our cylinders, the bigger you get with the Jones engine, the more torque you get when you compare it with something else. Not more forces on the parts inside the Jones engine. That's not what we're talking about. There's probably more, I'm sure there's more forces on a conventional engine in many respects than on the Jones engine. You're just simply applying those forces at a better lever distance to the crankshaft. So you're achieving a much better torque position. So the bigger the engine, the more torque you get. When you have a 1.8 liter Jones engine that's only 14 inches in diameter and about 8 inches wide, and it generates the torque of a large, big block V8 engine, you can only imagine how much torque you'll get when you build a 6-liter Jones engine. Instead of a 14-inch diameter engine, you're now talking about a 24 or a 30-inch diameter engine. You increase your torque position as compared with another engine exponentially, and it gets better and better. And so therefore, it's not uncommon or wouldn't be a stretch to say that Jones engines will run diesel locomotive trains that are current diesel electric locomotives. They'll be run with just the Jones engine, not with electric motors, with the Jones engine, because the Jones engine is an electric motor as well as an internal combustion engine. Your luxury liners, they won't have multiple systems, motor systems, electric and diesel. It'll just be one. You may bank the motors, which is what they would do. They would probably have 3 or 4 engines so they can adjust their power and speed. But you need something, any kind of engine in the future that's easy to run, that doesn't wear the parts out easily, that operates at relatively low RPMs, not high RPMs so that you can do the work. Low RPMs. The Jones engine runs at 5 times less RPMs than a current engine while achieving the same amount of, while achieving considerably more torque and about the same amount of horsepower. Horsepower, again, is something that is talked about when you talk about an engine, because you need that horsepower to get to a position to create torque to do the work. Horsepower is a byproduct. The Jones engine will be spoken in the future. It will be talked about in terms of torque, not in terms of horsepower. Because if you need to do more work, you apply the more combustion cycles and do it faster, is all. So torque is everything. Horsepower is what's necessary to maintain and do a certain amount of work in a certain period of time. It's all about torque. The Jones engine changes everything. We won't be talking about horsepower in the future. We talk about torque. And most Jones engines may not even be spoke of in terms of displacement, although that's acceptable. It'll be in terms of the diameter of the engine, because the larger the diameter, the more lever distance. More lever distance, the more torque. So you've got a completely flexible engine that can do all the things that you could want it to do. And it will be able to revolutionize all kinds of new things. Everything from the way we fly, to the way we drive, to the way we do everything. Every single engine in every single car is a very efficient generator. You could plug right into your car if you wanted to, and generate and use that electrical energy. So you got to remember that a Jones engine isn't just an engine, it's a generator, electric motor, and the most efficient internal combustion engine ever created. In summary, the benefits of the Jones engine: it's more fuel efficient, it's got higher torque, considerably higher torque, lighter weight, simpler, easier, and cheaper to manufacture and warranty. We hope you consider the Jones engine in your investment, and look forward to you being able to enjoy the Jones engine in your vehicles in the future. I believe the Jones engine was a divine inspiration, to be honest with you, and I want to thank God for my ability to understand and to come up with this concept. I believe God has truly blessed me and will truly bless the world if this engine sees the light of day, because it's a great engine. It could help out all of our economies. It could help out a lot of good people go back to work, have cheaper costs to operate, and I want to thank God, and I hope we all thank God for that, because we need His help in these trying times. Thank you, and God bless.